Once upon a time, there was a place called the wilderness.
We did things out there that we're ashamed of.
There was some darkness.
Your friendships are a little more complicated than most.
Yellow Jackets, only on Showtime, streaming with Paramount Plus.
Like me, Lee Murray wanted to be world champion in the UFC.
He just happens to be involved in the largest cash robbery in the world. This is the sort of thing you see in Hollywood films.
Heists, armed gang, huge amounts of money.
The policeman, shorty, hoodie, Mr. Average, high-vis, driver and stopwatch.
A fiendishly clever plan, which, up to the moment they drove away, had worked flawlessly.
Catching Lightning, only on Showtime, streaming with Paramount Plus.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here. The co-main event, Brandun Lee will go head-to-head against Pedro Campa of Mexico.
I could be fighting King Kong or Godzilla just another day in the office. My past 4 fights, I've already gone the distance twice, so I'm going to win or I'm going to die trying.
In our main event of the evening, the towering inferno, Sebastian Fundora, defends his title. Brian Mendoza, having knocked out Jason Rosario.
Like a year ago, I was a swing bout. You know, they're taking the ropes down, taking the lights down, everybody's leaving. And now, you know, I'm main event fighting for a title. So starting Saturday, this is everything. The win is everything right now.
Have we been in this position before? You know, we're here to win.
We are set for a triple header. 125 and 1/2 pounds for Olivo. 125.9 for Núñez. 141.2 pounds for Campa. 141.3 pounds for Lee. This will be the main event of the evening. 153 and 1/2 pounds for Mendoza. The towering Inferno. 153.3 for Fundora. All 3 fights weighed in. We will see you live on Showtime.
Live, ladies and gentlemen, for the 20th time, Showtime Boxing returns to Carson, California at the Dignity Sports Health Park. We have a triple header set for you guys tonight on the prelim side, as well as starting at 10 p.m. in the East, a triple header headlined, cannot wait for this, by Sebastian Fundora taking on Brian Mendoza. Hello, everyone. My name is Luke Thomas. I will be your host for today's festivities. Brian Campbell, my usual co-host, we are part of the award-winning Morning Combat podcast, is off on vacation, so it'll just be me here with you for the prelim festivities right here on Showtime Boxing Countdown. So as I mentioned, we have basically 2 triple headers for you. One on the prelim side and, of course, one on the main card side. On the main card, we will have a headlining contest tonight with the towering Inferno, 6'6", Sebastian Fundora, putting his interim WBC super welterweight title on the line against Brian Mendoza. And, of course, this is a really fun contest for a couple of reasons. First, of course, is just the natural matchup itself. We have Sebastian Fundora, as I mentioned, 6'6". Folks, he has an 80-inch reach, and he's competing at 154 pounds. For a little bit of context there, that's more than Frank Sanchez's heavyweight opponent tonight, Daniel Martz, as well as a bigger reach than 3-belt champion Oleksandr Usyk. A totally unusual phenomenon for this weight class, taking on hard-hitting Brian Mendoza. Of course, Brian Mendoza punching his ticket to this fight with that phenomenal uppercut stoppage win over Banana Jason Rosario. And in fact, Rosario ending up retiring after that contest. And here we are in this one. And of course, we know what's on the line here, the interim WBC strap. And it's an interesting contest I mentioned for a couple of reasons. One was just the matchup itself, but two, the stakes are a little bit unclear here. Of course, you have Fundora saying he wants a shot at Jermell Charlo. He wants a shot at all the belts. And of course, he is the mandatory mandatory, being in this particular position as the interim champion. But it's really unclear whether or not he'll get it even with a win tonight, right? Because, of course, Charlo has the hand injury. We're not sure about his timeline of return. It could be in the summer. So he doesn't want to wait around, Fundora. He wants to stay busy. But it makes it unclear stakes. Is the winner going to get a title shot? Yes, to the mandatory, but how long are they going to have to wait? But both men saying, in the case of Mendoza, I want to face the better guys in this division. I want a shot at all of those belts. I want to move my way up. And for Fundora, who's already in that position, well, he has to maintain it, but he just doesn't want to sit around and wait. He wants to stay active. He's begging for any kind of threat, any kind of challenge, all comers. He'll take them on as long as he can just keep moving the chains forward. Of course, that will be our headlining contest tonight. In your co-main event, Brandun Lee returns against Pedro Campa. Campa fresh off the loss to Teofimo Lopez. Of course, that'll be at 140 pounds. And opening the contest tonight at featherweight 126, Luis Núñez taking on Christian Olivo. Now, as it stands for the prelim card tonight, I mentioned we have a triple header there for you as well. And we kick things off in the heavyweight division. Frank Sanchez, the undefeated, hard-hitting, very, very well-schooled Cuban, taking on Daniel Martz. After that, Adrian Corona taking on Jerry Perez. And then in your main event for the prelims, of course, Gabriel Maestre taking on Devin Alexander. That'll be a 10-round welterweight bout. As you can see in the ring right now, we have Sanchez and Martz. We'll go to that bout as soon as it gets started. Should be a fun one in the heavyweight contest. Of course, we know Frank Sanchez making a great name for himself of late. Obviously, getting the win over F.A. Ajagba, which put him on the map more recently. Daniel Martz, not as heralded an opponent, I think is a fair way to put it. Sanchez, your heavy favorite here. I would expect him to win and to look good, but he is also trying to stay active, trying to keep the chains moving in his career and set up a future opportunity based off the result of this contest. This is scheduled for an 8-round bout. The following two will be another 8-round, and then your main event on the prelims, Maestre taking on Alexander. That will be for 10 rounds. We're just moments away from getting started here in Carson, California. As I mentioned, at the Dignity Sports Health Park, the Punch Bowl, as our Showtime colleague, Mauro Ranallo, loves to call it. The War Grounds, as Timothy Bradley calls it. And as I mentioned, the 20th stop for Showtime Championship Boxing in this illustrious venue. Round one, Sanchez in the white and blue, Martz in the black and neon green. And right away, you can see Sanchez putting a ton of pressure on his opponent. Boy, Martz is already down in the first. Referee checks him out. He stands. And they resume. This doesn't look good. We knew this was going to be an uphill climb for Martz. Sanchez, a vastly different skill level. And he's working the body as Martz just doesn't seem to have much of an answer. He's just circling on the outside, gets hit with a hard jab. And he's down again. Folks, this one's not... I don't know if this is going to make it out of the first round, ladies and gentlemen. Martz beats the count. Referee restarts it. He's going to be on a short leash here, I'm guessing. Sanchez taking his time. Showing him a lot of looks, creating a lot of openings. Left hook just nearly misses. Hard right hand! And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. It is over. Frank Sanchez makes short, quick work of Daniel Martz. They call him the Mountain, 6'7". But Frank Sanchez was able to climb that one relatively easily today. Let's go back. You can see here's Martz. Didn't really have much to offer, Frank Sanchez, which we understand. Seems like it was more of a stay busy fight for the Cuban. And he gets it done in very, very quick fashion. No problems there. This should move his record, Frank Sanchez, to now 22-0. It'll jump his KOs to 15. He's still just 30 years of age. Obviously, he looked dynamic in here against an overmatched opponent, but dynamic just the same. This should move Daniel Martz to 20 wins, 11 losses, and 1 draw. Hard to say exactly what Frank Sanchez is going to earn with an opportunity like this, but you can see the quality. He was able to land almost whatever he wanted when he wanted, stalking his opponent around the ring, and obviously scoring the finish. Easy, light work for Frank Sanchez. My name is Luke Thomas. Welcome back. We still have 2 more fights for you on the prelim card. Guessing those might go a little bit past the first round. As we mentioned, we're going to be a few minutes away from Adrian Corona returning against a loss against Jerry Perez, who has 2 losses on his record. Of course, he has to 2 dynamic fighters, Michel Rivera and then Frank Martin. So you can understand, certainly he has some losses on his record, but to more established and esteemed competition. We don't yet have the time of the stoppage. When we get that, I will give it to you. My name is Luke Thomas, as I mentioned. And of course, I'll be with you for the rest of the evening's festivities here after a quick victory. I'll get the information here for you from Frank Sanchez before we transition over to our super featherweight bout next here on Showtime Boxing Countdown. One more time, let's set up that main event from Sebastian Fundora taking on Brian Mendoza. These gentlemen here obviously earning an interesting spot here where it's not exactly clear what the winner gets. Yes, the interim strap is on the line, but the queue in line for the gentleman who holds all the titles is obviously, there's a bit of a backlog there. We knew that he was supposed to fight Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu had to take another fight against Tony Harrison, which he looked really good in, and that was supposed to be the fight that got him against Jermell Charlo, but of course, some other issues related to his hand rehabilitation has caused that fight to be delayed yet once again. So here, Sebastian Fundora finds himself in a position where he would really want to be fighting for that title. And something he's been saying, of course, he deserves, and he has, since beating Erickson Lubin in a Fight of the Year contest for 2022, but that's not going to be really enough to leapfrog anybody. That's not really going to be enough to move the needle in the direction that he wants it to go. But just doing nothing isn't really an answer either. So he's taking on the hard-hitting Brian Mendoza. Brian Mendoza, as I mentioned, fresh off that great, just an absolutely phenomenal uppercut win over Jason Rosario. He got that in the 5th round. And what I really love about that fight for Brian Mendoza is he took it on short notice. I think he only had about 2 weeks to get ready for that contest. And I know there's some questions about, what kind of condition Jason Rosario was in when that fight happened. But there's nothing accidental or otherwise luck about that uppercut. That uppercut was absolutely dynamic. And by the way, it should be noted, that wasn't the first punch that dropped Rosario. He also knocked him down with a body shot earlier in the contest. He was able to get it done throughout the entirety of the 5 rounds, to be quite honest. So an absolutely brilliant win, putting him on the map. And what he has been saying all of fight week is he's taken fights on short notice. And yes, sometimes he gets the win, but sometimes he hasn't looked himself. What he wanted was not just a full camp, but a full opportunity. Yes, the camp to get ready, but a quality opponent in which he can really test himself. And sort of one interesting feature here beyond what I've already mentioned about their height and sort of the unusual stakes involved here is also that Brian Mendoza does have some pretty good experience. He's 21-2, and some of those losses, obviously against some good opposition. Against Jesus Ramos was the last southpaw opponent he faced, which we just saw. Jesus Ramos beat Joey Spencer at the Benavidez versus Plant card, so we know that he is certainly a force to be reckoned with. But what Mendoza believes is that he just hasn't quite had the opportunity to show what he's made of, hasn't quite had the chance to really give a good showcase of himself in the right context, against the right kind of an opponent, with the right kind of preparation. Well, here comes Sebastian Fundora looking for opponents, looking to stay busy. And also, it should be noted, both of these fighters, to an extent, have something to overcome in terms of maybe some of the fan perception around them a little bit. Now, they're well respected. I don't necessarily mean that. But what I do mean is, for Mendoza, this would be the best win of his career to date, I would argue. This would be the one that I think would really say he's arrived. He's got some other good ones. He doesn't have one quite of this quality, so he has something to do in terms of I don't know about proving the doubters wrong, but reestablishing the idea that he has a much higher potential than perhaps some of the naysayers in the boxing community might otherwise suggest. For Sebastian Fundora, while he does have this interim WBC super welterweight title and is now defending it, there are still some doubters about him as well, and it goes back to his size. For his size, it is, look, I mean, you could see the tail, like these guys standing next to each other on the screen here over my shoulder. I mean, you could just look like they're in the same weight class. And yet they are, as I mentioned, Fundora having an 80-inch reach more than certain heavyweights that we know. But I bring it all up to say I still see some lingering, certainly respect after his win over Erickson Lubin and the honors that it received in terms of being in that fight of the year kind of category. But there's a lot of people being like, well, with that fight style, he's not quite like Brendan Figueroa, who has overwhelming volume, although Fundora does have a lot of volume to show for. But it doesn't really fit his body in the way that it's going to matter when he gets to the higher end of this division. Well, for Fundora's sake, he's like, well, let's see that play out first before everyone decides that. But also, you saw some highlights there from his last fight, which, by the way, took place right here at the Dignity Sports Health Park in Carson, California, against Ocampo. And against Ocampo, what was one of the new wrinkles that we got a chance to see? How about the jab? The jab played a big role in that win for Sebastian Fundora. Now, it wasn't the only thing he did in that fight. Of course, he showed some of the more, what my colleague Brian Campbell likes to say is tactical brawling. You saw some of that from him as well. But the jab was much, much more prominent in that fight. Did a whole lot of work from the beginning to the end of it. And yes, Ocampo stood up to it. The fight went to the judges. And of course, they had to render a decision, turning in lopsided scorecards. Let's be real about that as well. But I'm pointing out, now he's fighting maybe a little bit more in conjunction with his body type. Taller fighters fighting tall. A lot of them don't do it, and it's something that Fundora really has not been doing much of up until this point. Up until this point, he's been overwhelming with a little, I would say, relatively more volume than a lot of his opponents. Great combination puncher and a whole lot more. But getting behind that jab is going to be key, I think, as he certainly gets closer to 30. I think he's only 25 or 26. I'll get the specifics on that here in just a moment. But more to the point, giving himself additional tools to be fighting at additional ranges. That's just going to give him so many more options, and he's going to need them if he eventually gets that opportunity whenever it arrives against Jermell Charlo or against Tim Tszyu or whoever really is in front of him at that point. So what I'm looking to see tonight from Sebastian Fundora, and again, that broadcast will go live on Showtime at 10 p.m. in the East. And the main event, of course, is what we're talking about here. I want to see if he can get back to that. Because you wonder, could Fundora beat Mendoza with the existing skill set he had prior to what he showed in the Ocampo fight? The odds are fairly far apart. I would argue he probably could. He probably could. But to continue that development, to continue that growth, and to get him ready for the upper end of the division, if that is what is in store for him, I think doing those kinds of things is going to be really, really, really important. We will see, of course, as the night gets closer to the main event. But right now, we still have a second fight for you. We have 2 of 3 here. This is the second of the third fight on this prelim card. An 8-round super featherweight contest between, and I am taking Spanish lessons, so I'm going to try not to be too gringo or too pretentious with my pronunciation. Adrian Corona taking on Jerry Perez. Both of these gentlemen coming off of losses. Both of these gentlemen, particularly in the case of Perez, has fought some good opposition. Frank Martin, as I spoke about before, and Michel Rivera. Now, those two obviously had a fight where Frank Martin came out ahead. But you know what I'm saying? Where losing to those guys, not really a mark of shame. Those are very, very talented fighters. Those are very, very skilled operators, different kinds. But you get the idea. This is a chance to get a rebound here. It's only 8 rounds, so we're going to see who can push the pace. But it's an important contest for both of them to get back on track, particularly for the younger of the two in Corona. Now, they're both in the ring. We'll go to them here momentarily. As I mentioned, this one is also set for 8 rounds. The next bout after this one will be 10, but this one just 8 rounds. Corona, 9 wins, 1 loss, and no contest with 2 KOs, taking on Perez with a record of 14-2 and 11 KOs. Here's my unofficial prediction for the fight, not so much winning and losing. I think this one has the most likely probability of being a bit of an inside fight. Two guys a little bit on top of each other. In previous fights, Corona has had a bit of a problem with fighters who move. Perez can do a little bit of that, but I wouldn't call that his bread and butter. That isn't the part of the game where he necessarily excels. So it'll be interesting to see. By the way, we have a time for the last fight, the Sanchez KO, taking place at 1:41 of the very first round. Nice short work there for the Cuban in Frank Sanchez. All right, the fighters are getting what appear to be final instructions from our very muscular referee here. We have Corona taking on Perez. Big contest here at super featherweight. Two guys looking to get the rebound in their career and get things going in the right direction. We shall see how things go. Round one, set to start. Right here on Showtime Boxing Countdown, our second of 3 preliminary card fights from Carson, California. Round one begins. As you can see, Perez in the kind of black and green shorts, Corona more in the black and white. Corona with some right hands and overhand, putting pressure early on Perez. Hard uppercut from Corona, just misses. It looks to me like Perez a little bit looser, but that left hand hanging real low. It's been a bit of a problem for him at times in previous fights. Hard right hand there from Corona. And another one right over the top. That left hand is not doing him a whole lot of defensive favors right now for Perez. Perez pressuring Corona against the ropes, now back in the center of the ring. A bit of a left hook and then a frame to push Perez down as he moves, to push Corona around as Perez moves. Again, there's that right hand. He doubles up Corona, one to the body, one to the head. And there's the frame and turn again. Pay attention to that. Both guys doing it.
Let him go, Jerry. Let him go. Pull your arm out.
Hard uppercut right underneath the jab there for Corona. And another one. And you could see Corona doubling up on the right hands, going to the body, then over the top, getting Perez to transfer defense. Oh, hard, stiff jab there. Actually, from the cross, the jab had a bit of a power aspect to it. A bit of a power jab, although he didn't step fully into it. Good work there from both men. I'm not scoring ringside, so don't take anything I say here as gospel, but it looked to me like Corona, the busier of the two and landing the better work. Let's take a look at the replay here. So Perez tried to come around with the overhand. Doesn't really go. Gets jabbed for his efforts. But they didn't show the doubling of the right hand there from Corona. That was what, to me, made the biggest difference in the first round. I'd be curious to see what answer, if any, Perez has for it. By the way, if you don't have Showtime and you want to watch the main card, and why wouldn't you? You can go to Showtime.com and you can get a 30-day free trial. If you like Showtime, and of course you probably will, you can keep it. But if not, you can happy to go your separate ways. Go to Showtime.com to start your free trial today. Round 2. Here we go. Of course, Corona fighting out of Rialto, California. He suffered his first pro defeat to Pedro Valencia last August. He's 23 and was unbeaten across his first 10 fights after turning pro in 2018. He's taking on the 30-year-old here, Perez. Of course, trains alongside Leo Santa Cruz and is a native of Harbor City, California. Good jab there from Perez. Hard right hand again, and then mixing it up to the body. Both guys countering the other one's jab so far. Looks to me like Perez would love to have more of an inside fight. Corona still looking a little bit more to work from the outside after getting in. Good jabs there from Perez after eating a hard body shot. This is a better round for Perez already. And now he's doubling up with a left to the body and then a left over the top. And then a hard right uppercut to follow. Now they're trading, ladies and gentlemen. Good jabs from Corona. Much better jab from Perez this time around, even though he seems to be much more accommodating of the inside fight. Good left hook again. Two well-matched opponents here. Both guys trying to, as I mentioned before, counter the other one's jab. Also, both guys able to counter anytime the other one level changes and then returns back to the same position, not moving their head off the center line. Although Corona a bit better about catching some of the hooks on the gloves, or in that particular case, rolling with it. Here comes Corona with a blitz here at the end of round 2. Perez trying to roll with it on the ropes. We got 2 in the books, 2 of 8. It looked to me like it was a much better round for Perez through the beginning, maybe the middle of it. A nice surge at the end there for Corona. We go to the replay here. Left hook from Perez. A feint double jab, right hand. Oh, good. Then a bit of a swivel jab afterwards. And you could see Corona pouring it on here. Perez kind of content to just eat it and then go to the body and counter where he could, but paying for it a little bit there. The round was close-ish. Possible he could have stolen it from there. Again, I'm not scoring ringside, so if you have a different score at home, please don't crucify me for it. We're all having fun here, folks. All right. Round 3. Between Adrian Corona and Jerry Perez. Perez switching stance briefly to southpaw and now going back to orthodox. I don't know if he got a whole lot out of that, but he does get some good body shots in. Good body work. Corona's been doing good body work almost the entire fight, and then sticking behind the jab there a little bit. But they're doing what I call jousting, which is neither is doing a ton of faking and feinting. It's more just volume, and then in the process of kind of playing speed chess, just countering mistakes as they emerge in real time, rather than more careful setups. Bit of a style issue there, less a critique of ability. There's some feinting there from Corona, but not really enough to deter or confuse Perez. And a nice hard right hand over the top. Man, both guys just trading. Not a ton of defense, frankly, either way. And good body work there from Perez, going to the body, then another left hook over the top. The ones that are mixing it up and then working in combination, often going first between the two, tend to have the better results. And now Corona leaning a little bit more forward. I wonder if we might see some more uppercuts from Perez as he begins to counter. He's been throwing some good uppercuts to the body, a bit of a hook there. Perez looks to me like if we take the last round and now this one, he's finding the target much more often, putting good combinations together, changing up the rhythm a little bit, changing up speeds at times. And it's giving Corona some problems, but here he comes with his own burst here late, just like the last round. Man, these two are just trading in the phone booth. Big hooking punches either way. Not a ton of straight punches as this fight moves now from the third to the fourth round. Fun action. You can hear the audience there clapping their approval. Good jab there from Perez. Followed with a right straight. Comes over the top, right hand to the body. Over, oh, beautiful left hook lands. And then a right following up behind it. He's got a great answer for all of the defensive movement that that Corona is trying to throw at him, although he gets under the hooking punches there. Would love to see these two mix up more straight punches with the hooking punches, built in a little bit more corralling through the process. Easier said than done from home. By the way, Perez, 30 years old today, 1 week and 2 days. Adrian Corona, 21 years, 1 month, 3 weeks, and 6 days old as of today's broadcast. You see some level-changing feints there from Corona, and now he's moving off the jab, but Perez already finding an opportunity to retaliate. Good inside fighting, and then another good left hook over the top, waiting for Corona to go back up. That was well done. Another uppercut there. Looks like there's some blood coming down the nose of Perez.
No knockdown, no knockdown. Give me gloves. Stop.
Left hook forces Perez to slip. He lands on his gloves, but there was no punch. Hard left hook there from Perez. It seems that when they're just exchanging like this, both guys are getting through. Please don't misunderstand me. But it looks like it's Perez who's stronger. He's pushing the other guy back. He's literally doing it with an elbow block and a smothering shoulder. It seems like he's able to flow and land a little bit more cleanly at times. But Corona certainly doing good work. Getting away from the jab, slipping it, going to the body. He's continuously moving, turning Perez. And here, this round, working a little bit more at distance. There it is, a right hand to the body, and he gets off. Now here he is against the ropes. Let's see if he can pivot out. There it is. Great work. And this is, by the way, we're 4 rounds, not quite in. This is the 4th itself. Pretty hellacious pace to this fight, which is only getting higher and higher. Couple jab, 1-2, actually I should say 1-2s from Perez. Bit of a, not quite a gazelle punch, but he rolls through and then a leaping left hook. Hard right hand there, partially lands it looks like for Corona. Some more stance switching, by the way, there from Perez at times, through combination anyway. Both guys are landing, but Perez's face definitely, as you can see here on the screen, looks the worse for the wear. You always wonder how judges will score that. We take a look at the replay here. Let's see what we can see. That left hook misses and throws him off balance, leaving his feet that way. Doesn't count as a knockdown, obviously. You see a jab there from Corona. A 1-2 misses. Uppercut scores, but jab returns for Corona in a good, evenly matched contest. As I mentioned, for the 20th time, can you believe that? The 20th time, Showtime Championship Boxing at the Punch Bowl in Carson, California, the Dignity Sports Health Park. One that my co-host, Brian Campbell, tells me is an absolute must attend for any true boxing fan. It's on the list. All right, here we are, round 5. We're through the halfway point of this contest. Again, the pace continues. High volume. Perez putting combinations together, backing up and ceding ground, but also arguably pulling Corona into his punches there a little bit, just like that. Blitzing, switching stance on the angle, goes back to orthodox. Jabs to the body, misses, tries to smother. Both of these guys throwing shots enough where they're losing their balance in the process, and now they're just trading. Good right hand from Corona. Leaping left hook, and there's that frame on the head. Referee intervenes and warns him not to do it, but they all do. Oof. Good body work there from Corona. Oh, a hard left hand gets through from Corona. Perez wearing it well. Pace slowing, it looks to me, just a bit, and Perez being hit much more this round. Relative to the last 2. But he's pressuring into Corona. Corona having a hard time this round keeping him off, but he's landing otherwise good work. There's the good jab from Corona. Hard right hand there from Perez. Again, it's interesting. Perez doing some jabbing, but not a whole lot. A lot of his leaping left hooks like that, and then turning right there to the body. Both guys got their jabs countered so much, one wonders if they've decided to move away from it a little bit. And there's Corona walking into one. Good body work there from Corona, backing up Perez. Again, he's leaving his feet a fair bit. Some of it working, some of it not. Good left hand to the body, and then a right now from Corona, but the left belonged to Perez. Again, a well-matched contest, ladies and gentlemen. Here between two guys very much in need of a win. Looking forward to seeing the replay here and see what we get. Curious to see what adjustment either fighter might make to turn the tide here. There's that left sort of shovel punch there from Perez. Good body work now from Corona. A little bit, oh, it was a bit of a low blow. Perhaps I thought it had landed more to the liver. Looks like that might have been a little bit low. Referee didn't say anything. There's that left hook right over the top. Corona rolls again, right to the body. And there's the one that's a little bit low, right there. Right there. Hard to tell exactly where it landed. Looked a little low in real time. It looked like maybe a bread basket, maybe a liver shot. It was hard to tell. But he's up for it. Cutman did his job. And we now move into round number 6 of 8 between Adrian Corona and Jerry Perez. Corona going right back to the body with that right hand. He's been the more, I'd say, prodigious jabber and doing some of the better body work. Both guys doing, obviously, throwing a nice mix. But Perez a little bit more content to throw the wider, heavier punches. And both guys able to land, but they're having a hard time sticking the other guy enough to really discipline their movement. Again, good combinations. Corona looks like he's having a bit of a late surge. Perez might be tiring a little bit. Good combination there. Their feet get tied up just a little bit. The referee indicates it. Oh, good uppercuts from both men. Perez getting the better of the two. I predicted a bit of an inside fight. I believe in general, it's more or less what you're getting. Subtle, and I'm not sure. Yeah, stance switching. You're seeing it there. He looks like he's walking forward from Perez. He's switching stances through combination, but I'm not sure exactly how much he's getting off of it. And neither guy looks like having the power to really do serious damage to the other. Perez having a better second half of this round, throwing more. Looks like he was a little bit languid at first. Corona going heavy to the body and then hooks whenever Perez dips down. Good body shot there from Perez. Again. And then catching him off of the level change. Good left hook from Perez. That punch has been money for him almost this entire fight. Good round. Well contested. I thought, again, Perez might have been slipping a little bit, but he had a strong push to the end of that frame. Let's go to the replay here. Let's see what we can see. Overhand right kind of catches off the jab. They duck down that left hook. They're kind of trading in the middle here. Left hook gets through, changes stances a little bit. Perez does. Actually, excuse me, it was a retreating Corona who had switched. And they're jabbing and trading in the middle. Right hand gets through, and then they trip up a little bit there. Yeah, it was the trip off of the stance, which came from the trip itself, not so much from any kind of tactical choice. Although Perez doing a little bit of stance switching. I'm not a big hater of stance switching in boxing. I actually like to see it more. But there have to be like very concerted, clear uses of it. Boots Ennis is a guy who's got clear, concerted uses of it. Just doing it without really getting a clear benefit from it as a way to be like, oh, well, I'm giving him different looks. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Round 7 of a possible 8. Closely contested affair here between Adrian Corona and Jerry Perez. Here comes Corona already pressuring. This bout, of course, at 130 pounds. Referee intervenes. Man, both guys able to land seemingly at will here. A little bit more jabbing this round thus far from Perez, although they're still kind of phone booth fighting a little bit. There hasn't been much clinching. You got to give them both credit. There's been some referee warnings. Here comes another one, or it looks like the mouthpiece got knocked out. They're going to rinse it out and then put it right back in. But in general, for a fight for these individual careers of this magnitude, and one this competitive and in this range, it's been quite commendable that they've not had to have too many separations. Hard right hand greets Corona as he drops his jab. Stance switched again, and he goes back into combination for Perez. Good left hook again from Perez. That is his money punch. Good right hand and a bit of a short uppercut gets through for Corona. And now they're just trading right in the middle. An absolute war of attrition between these two guys. Again, a super featherweight contest here between these two. Looking to get back on the winning track. Corona up again, just square up against the ropes, firing back, and now he gets off the turn off the jab. Perez is right back on him, and now they are just trading to end the 7th closely contested affair. I always hate the cliches about who wants it more, but sometimes this will be the determining factor. Good right hand from Perez, you can see in the replay. Jabs him up there a little bit as well. There's that little shovel hook. Tries to get off to the side, misses with the uppercut. But then he backs up Corona up against the ropes and then goes to work. I'd be very curious to hear the judges' scorecards if it reaches that far. Last round coming up. Super featherweight, our second of 3 fights here on the Showtime Boxing Countdown. One more to go after this. And then, of course, the triple header on Showtime, the television channel. 10 p.m. in the East. Looking forward to that as well this evening. Here we go. 8th and final round in this super featherweight contest. Adrian Corona and Jerry Perez. Corona from the opening bell putting pressure on him, but getting greeted with hooks every time he leans over. Again, another stance switch from Perez. Didn't get anything out of it. Heavy volume in either direction. Both guys countering every punch. So far, Corona seems to be just a little bit of step ahead so far in this frame. Perez just greeting him, and they're just exchanging. Not a lot of jabbing, a lot of body shots and hooks. Looks like a body shot may have hurt Corona. Here comes some of the first clinching. Not much of it in the whole bout. Perez is on him like white on rice. He was, by the way, back to southpaw, now back to orthodox. He might be trying to close the show here, folks. Corona covering up. Taking a big breath as he retreats 2 left hooks by Perez. And another. Corona showing unreal grit to hold on, but there's a lot of time left. Big punches now landing for Perez. Another left hook lands. He is sending a message to Corona and the judges if need be. Finishing strong as he just walks down Corona. Another hard shot to the body. Corona seems to have successfully slowed him at least a little bit. But now they're up against the ropes again. Perez walking him down. Perez not really cutting off so much as Corona's just retreating. Here comes the hand combinations. 28 seconds left in the fight. And they are just exchanging. Heavy combination work from both men. More so Perez. Switching stances, he goes southpaw, uppercut to the body, goes back orthodox. And man, they are getting after it. Corona looks like he has rebounded a little bit, and they're going to sprint to the bell, ladies and gentlemen. Great, great fight. Well-matched contest, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you want to see. 2 guys coming off of losses, desperate to get back in the winning track and doing whatever they could to put themselves in that position. Just look at the replays here. Both men giving everything they can. Corona landing on the outside, pushing, kind of snapping the head around there of Perez, but he finally gets to the body, backs him up a little bit. He's landing pretty good over the top, actually, in this replay. This is earlier, I believe. Good dig to the body there, then a left hook upstairs, but then he eats a right of his own. And then he goes right back to the body. Would not like to be a judge in this particular contest. It looked to me like Perez probably did enough of it to win, but I'm going to be very curious to hear the judges' scorecards on this one, which, of course, we will make sure you guys know before we get to our third and final contest here. So we are at Dignity Sports Health Park in Carson, California. Our second of 3 preliminary bouts in the books. We are awaiting the judges' decisions, and then we'll get to our third and final contest, your main event. Here for the prelims, anyway. There you see Jerry Perez, who subsequent to, I should say prior to tonight, remember his only 2 losses, Frank Martin and Michel Rivera, looking to rebound. He is confident he did enough. The crowd whistling their approval. Why wouldn't they? And here comes the judge's decision.
Before we get to the scorecards, one more round of applause for these 2 warriors. What a fight.
Right.
Now, after 8 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judges Nathan Palmer sees it 78-74 for Perez. Judges Dr. Lou Moret and Zachary Young both see it 76-76. This fight is a majority draw.
Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, a majority draw between Jerry Perez and Adrian Corona. Let me read you the scores again. One of the judges had it 78-74 Perez. The other two having it the same, 76-76 and 76-76. Of course, I'm not ringside. It's hard for me to be overly judgmental about the scoring. I thought Perez had done enough. Certainly an inspiring performance in terms of effort from both gentlemen. It will be interesting to see where they go from here. But where we are right now is we have just one fight left for you here on the Showtime Boxing Countdown preliminary portion of the broadcast. We're just waiting for a 10-round welterweight contest between Gabriel Maestre and Devin Alexander. Yes, the previous two-weight world champion, Devin Alexander, returning here against Maestre, the two-time Olympian, world amateur, and world Pan Am champion, Gabriel Maestre, out of Barranquilla, Colombia, although previously out of he is native to Venezuela. All right, one more time, let's reset if we can. Tonight at 10 p.m. on Showtime, it will be the main card boxing broadcast, the Showtime Championship boxing broadcast, headlined by Sebastian Fundora taking on Brian Mendoza. This will be a super welterweight contest, 154 pounds, and on the line will be the WBC interim strap that currently Fundora has. As we mentioned before, Fundora, he told my co-host for the podcast that I host with Brian Campbell, he told Brian Campbell he wasn't even sure necessarily what he's going to get with the win. He didn't even know. He didn't have a clear sense. It didn't matter. It's not what he's here for. He's not here necessarily because he expects that with a win, Jermell Charlo is just going to fall in his lap. That's really not what this is about. This is about, I think, two things. One, certainly moving the chains of his career, as I previously indicated. And two, the big one is the lesson from the Ocampo fight where he got behind the jab. What other skills can he show? What other things can he do to ready himself for the upper end of this division and continue to develop his game? As we mentioned before, 6'5.5", really 6'6". He's basically as tall as Anthony Joshua. That's how tall he is for 154 pounds. Just a totally unusual build. When he stands next to Brian Mendoza and really any competitor that he has, he just looks like he's in a different weight class, despite the fact that, yes, he's obviously skinny. He can make the weight. His frame just seems so deeply unusual for this weight class. But he makes it work, ladies and gentlemen. He is undefeated, and he has been down on the canvas. Erickson Lubin put him down, for example. But what happened in that fight, it was not only fight of the year. Fundora came back and won, forcing Lubin's corner to throw the towel because his face was a mess. He really is a guy of considerable ability, but as young as he is, and as much time as he has to get better, these are the kind of fights that are going to ready him, if in fact he is destined for those, and we shall see, for the upper tier of this division. I really, really, really want to see what he can do beyond just getting in firefights where he can overwhelm with some volume and he has good inside fighting when he needs it. But what can he do with an 80-inch reach, which I have to say one more time. We just saw Frank Sanchez fight tonight against an opponent who is 6'7". Sebastian Fundora has a longer reach than him. There is the three-belt world champion at heavyweight, Alexander Usyk. Sebastian Fundora has a longer reach than him. One fights at heavyweight, Fundora fights at 154 pounds. It is utterly remarkable and highly unusual to see someone of this frame, and then to see someone of this frame fight in a way that is accommodating to his opponent, at least in the sense of inside the reach, inside of, not at the end of his punches. But as I mentioned, in his last fight, that was not so much the case. Really, really putting it on him in a different kind of way. Showing more well-rounded tools, showing more well-rounded ability. Now, in the case of Brian Mendoza, it is obviously quite the opposite. Entering the space, having absolutely blitzed Jason Rosario. Uppercut from hell that he landed. But, of course, stopping him, as I mentioned previously, with body shots. And I know what folks are going to say, what kind of Rosario did we get in that contest? Well, what kind of Brian Mendoza did we get in that contest who took that fight on roughly 2 weeks' notice? I think he actually a little bit less than that. That wasn't peak Brian Mendoza. That wasn't the best Brian Mendoza. That is hardly at all what the best Brian Mendoza can offer. So what this fight really is a chance for him to say, okay, you wanted a quality opponent? Check. You wanted a full camp? Check. You want it to be in a more spotlighted role? Check. Main event. I mean, here is a guy who I think a year ago was complaining because he was on swing bouts. But you get enough wins and you get some solid ones against some names when that time arises, and you can punch your ticket to more substantive places on the card like this one. And Brian Mendoza, heavy hitter. And by the way, I should point out, a guy who is gritty, never been stopped, does have some losses. As I mentioned, Jesus Ramos Jr., well, that's the big one. Jesus Ramos really giving him some problems, fair enough. But we just saw what he was, as I mentioned, against Joey Spencer on the Benavides versus Plant card. That guy is destined for great things, although the same thing that he shares in similarities with his opponent tonight, Fundora, is that they're both southpaws. So that should be interesting. Now, our third and final bout is getting ready. The fighters are entering the ring right now. Gabriel Maestre, previously he represents Venezuela, today I think living out of Barranquilla, Colombia. And on the other side, you have Devin Alexander out of St. Louis, Missouri. And both of these guys, by the way, are looking for, in the case of Alexander, he hasn't put 2 wins together since before 2013. And he does have wins since then, but 2 of them. Now, of course, he's coming off of a loss. Although in his last fight against Luke Santamaria, he had an injury on his biceps and still was able to go the full distance. Now he's supposed to be healthier. Now he's supposed to be a little bit more ready. And he's got a quality opponent in front of him. Maestre is a weird one, though, right? Because he had a long amateur record where he was a world champion as an amateur, I think a Pan Am champion, a 2-time Olympian for Venezuela. You could see, they'll show the broadcast here momentarily. He's coming out with the Venezuelan flag and the Bolivarian, from Simon Bolivar, the colors there, not from Bolivia, of yellow, blue, and red in some of what he's wearing. But in any case, he has a very, very short amount of experience. He is a guy who, when he had a fight against Michael Fox not too long ago, a lot of folks thought he kind of skated by, had a draw in his last contest, and so now is looking to really, if he's going to make something of it. And by the way, both of these fighters sitting at 36 years of age as of the moment of this fight. In fact, I can tell you exactly how they are in just a moment. In terms of that, yeah, I can tell you. How about this? Maestre sitting at 36 years, 6 months, 2 weeks, and 3 days old. Devin Alexander, also known as the Great, 36 years, 1 month, 4 weeks, and 1 day old as of today. So you got some older fighters, and if they're going to make something of what they have left competitively, it starts here today. If Devin Alexander is going to make any kind of a rebound and stamp his, punch his ticket to greater opportunities, he has got to look good in an opportunity like this. And for Maestre, who had some of the hype from the amateur background, things have been a little bit dicey on the pro end. Certainly he has looked good at times, but he hasn't quite had, against a name opponent, a really clear showcase. He hasn't come out and really kind of planted his flag, so to speak. This provides us an opportunity to get there. So this is the third fight of the 3 on the Showtime Boxing Countdown preliminary broadcast. We have more to talk about in terms of the main card as well as what's coming up on the Showtime calendar, but this fight here will be next. As I mentioned, it's a welterweight contest, 147 pounds between these two. They have been given their introductions. They go now to the center of the ring for the referee's final instructions, and we will get going with our preliminary main event. And, of course, we're in Carson, California, at the Dignity Sports Health Park. Here we go, folks. 10 rounds scheduled welterweight contest. As you can see there, Devin Alexander taking on Gabriel Maestre. Here we go. All right. Alexander in the blue and white. Maestre in the white and red. And sort of standard disclaimer, you have what's called open stance here. Alexander a southpaw, Maestre an orthodox fighter. So be aware of potential head clashes that can happen because they both lean in on the same side. Good left hand already for Alexander. And it also, lead foot positioning. I won't say dominance. Lead foot positioning matters a lot. And you can see already Alexander countering off of the 2 from Maestre. Good left hand there, although a jab got through from Maestre. Both of them exchanging body shots. A lot of movement early on from Alexander, circling into the power side of his own and, of course, his opponent. Because of that open stance context. Good left to the body from Alexander gets through. So one of the things that becomes interesting when you have open stance is what role does the jab play? The jab tends to get negated in situations like this because how easy it is to do what's called fencing, or in, more regular person parlance, glove control. One person can either put their hand on top of it, they can block it. It just becomes a little bit harder to get off. So you're seeing not as much jabbing between them. Both guys getting good work in on the body. They clinch. Alexander actually has inside head position, but the referee breaks them. A little bit of L-stepping there from Alexander as he circles to his left. And then eats a body shot as he closes the distance. It's going to be tough getting an angle. He tries there. Good double jab. Actually a jab and then a left to the body from Alexander. And he had wide foot positioning there, lead outside foot positioning, which created a lane for his left hand. First round's in the books. For our welterweight prelim main event, Devin Alexander and Gabriel Maestre. We go back to the replay here. Sweeping right hand there gets through after they exchange a little bit. You can see the jab not playing a huge role because it's just hard to get through when you have open stance like that and two fighters who are well matched, or at least early on in the contest. A jab could, of course, play a role in open stance fighting. It just requires unique positioning, unique timing. It's not so easy relative to having an opponent who has the same stance as you. So we'll see if either can make an adjustment in this contest. 4-0-1, by the way, is the record of Maestre. 27-7-1 for Devin Alexander the Great. Round 2, here we go. There's some jabbing right away from Maestre. Let's see if Alexander parries or tries to counter. Oof, almost got a roll through and then counter two for Alexander. There it is again. Pays for it with a left hook. Good left hook to the body there from Maestre. Maestre putting on a lot of pressure. And now they clinch up. Alexander puts his head on the other side and then they separate. Good left hand to the body, another right from Alexander. Alexander doing some, both guys really, doing some good body work as an investment for a 10-round fight. When you got a 36-year-old opponent, it makes sense to do that. Maestre a little bit more consistent with the jab this round. And here comes Alexander trying to return the favor. Good triple right hooks there from Alexander, changing locations each time. Boy, Alexander is just smothering Maestre, doing body work. Not so much, looks like, trying to stand too far distance. Yeah, he's going to the body and then clinching up. Good, again, good body work. And I got to tell you, this is obviously concerted from Alexander to force these clinches. It's good to land and then smother. It doesn't make for the most exciting bout necessarily, but it just doesn't let Maestre get going. Good left hook gets around the glove there from Maestre. Oh, left hook! Drops Devin Alexander. And he's getting the count from the ref. He's back up. And the bell sounds. Great round for Gabriel Maestre, dropping Devin Alexander in the second. Let's see how he did it. Yeah, it was a 1-2 and then a 3. That rocked him, and then sort of a right uppercut puts him down. Right here, the 2 got through, and then the left hook. He backs up off a little bit. Here and there, yeah, that's what did it. He was rocked before, and then finally, as he bent over, he got hit with another one. Great accuracy, great punch selection from Maestre. And Devin Alexander, he was playing the game, right? We just talked about it, where he was punching on the outside, or at least punching to the body to get to the inside, and then kind of clinching and then stalling out a little bit. Maestre having a great response in that round. Devin Alexander going to have to get things going here as we enter the third.
This is round 3.
Yeah, and Maestre is on the hunt, ladies and gentlemen. Alexander wisely clinching, but that's not going to be enough. And then you can see some of that feinting, and by the way, the glove control. So pay attention to Maestre's glove control. He's throwing punches over the top of it at times. Just like that a little bit. You get an underhook there from Maestre that looks like they're trying to punch their way out, and the referee's going to break him up. Good combination there from Alexander. Maestre just sat there and took it, but some of it got through. Alexander complaining about shots to the back of the head. The referee now warning Maestre. Good combination work. Fast hands, by the way, from Maestre. I think his speed, even at 36 years of age, is giving Alexander some problems. Yeah, you can see Maestre feinting a response to get the defense to transfer for Alexander. And that right straight from Maestre has been an absolutely devastating punch for him. Boy, he is hunting Alexander, and you can tell he feels it. The right straight and then the left hook are the two so far money punches for Maestre. Maestre's timing is really, really good. Oh, and then a nice little stabbing uppercut to the body. And he's coming over the top with the left hook. There's the right hook. and Alexander clinches. Boy, Alexander is starting to get chewed up. Man, good uppercut now, and then the left hook. You can see other things that Maestre is combining that left hook with before. Alexander, again, I'm going to say it, wise to clinch, but that is not going to get him the win by itself. Round 3 in the books, and it looks to me like Gabriel Maestre is in cruise control at this point. Certainly full control. We'll go back to the highlights here. A nice left hand lands for Alexander. He changes position. He eats a right hand for it. There's a pivoting around, and you can see just great body work from Maestre to kind of overwhelm here. Misses again, and then rather than going to a full-on stance switch, he decides to smother with the leading shoulder there on that particular exchange, which would be the right one. Great job by him. So a better round for Alexander. He doesn't touch the canvas, but he's still getting eaten up a little bit. He hasn't quite found something that's got Maestre thinking, second-guessing, trying to figure out where he goes next. But at 36 years of age, and of course with nearly 40 pro fights, he should have some answers. We shall see. There's some discussion in the corner, but it doesn't look like there's anything. Nope, they're gonna call time. Something's up here. I don't know if there's an equipment malfunction. I'm not sure what's going on. As soon as we get word from what's happening, we of course will tell you. I don't know if Alexander is complaining about an injury. Looks like this might be it. That's it. Yep. That is it, folks. A great win by Gabriel Maestre. And it looks like Alexander might have had some kind of injury, maybe to his leg or knee. We'll try to get some clarification here in just a minute. But that is a great win for Maestre. Again, after some uninspiring, or I should say questionable wins, and then in his last fight, a draw, basically, to get a result like this where he not only, I mean, yes, the opponent may have been injured. We'll see what the official explanation here is in just a moment. But instead, to look as good as he did in that moment, very, very ready for that open stance condition that he was in, he looked phenomenal. He was flowing, dropping Alexander, as we mentioned in the second round, and you saw that. That was a better performance. I think the kind of performance that Gabriel Maestre will need. So we'll get the final time of the stoppage. I guess they're going to say it's between the rounds, so it'll be at the 3-minute mark. But we'll get the official explanation for it. I don't know if it's a hand issue. I don't know if it's a knee issue. I'm not exactly sure what the problem is. But we'll get that for you here in just a minute. Of course, we'll set up our main card broadcast, which starts at 10 p.m. in the East on Showtime Championship Boxing. And we'll look, of course, at the schedule here in just a minute. So, in our third and final preliminary contest, Gabriel Maestre winning via TKO, it appears, over Devin Alexander. That brings his record, by the way, Maestre, to 5-0-1, and it drops Devin Alexander to 27-8-1. Not a great run for Alexander at this stage. Again, winner at the end of 3 by TKO there for Maestre. So there you have it, folks. Those are the 3 fights that we have here for you today. Now, Showtime, of course, as I mentioned, going live at 10 p.m. in the East, but we have an incredible month of April. Let's get the schedule here on the screen. Let's talk about it here for just a second if we can. There you have the Showtime boxing schedule. And folks, I already know that you know this, but let's remind everyone, 2 weeks from tonight, for potentially the future face of boxing, an absolutely fan-requested, boxing-demanded all-star matchup when Gervonta Tank Davis at 136 pounds takes on Ryan Garcia. Cannot wait for this. Of course, it'll be at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Just got back from there after Benavidez versus Plant. It was a lovely stay. But this one is for really all the bragging rights marbles. It's really not about belts. It's really not about, again, it's at 136 pounds. It's not about this weight class or that. It's just about kind of who's the man, who's the star, who's the guy who can excite and galvanize the fan base and lead the charge, not only into the winning ways in this contest, but into the future. Who's going to be that big next star in boxing? All of these two guys right at the precipice of it. The winner is going to get that one into overdrive. Really, really, really cannot wait for that one. By the way, we're going to have lots of promotional assets for you on the Morning Combat side and other places as well to get you ready for that contest. That'll be April 22nd. We'll come back to this contest in just a minute, but here are some of the other ones, folks. Nothing slows down. Alberto Puello taking on Rolando Romero, who, of course, Romero giving Tank Davis a fun fight as well. Showbox will return June 9th, and then, of course, Showtime Championship Boxing will be June 24th when Carlos Adames takes on Julian J. Rock Williams. On the MMA side of things, we also have a great calendar as well to get you going for that if we can. So here we go. There's Bellator MMA on Showtime, April 21st. Of course, Bellator 294. Liz Carmouche will try to defend her flyweight world title against Deanna Bennett on April 22nd. The same day, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, as Davis versus Garcia. Of course, that will be on pay-per-view. This will be on regular Showtime. When Ralphie Stotts takes on Patchy Mix, which, by the way, is one of the better 135 bantamweight MMA fights you could make on the planet Earth. Winner gets a shot between the winner of that and Patricio Freire taking on Sergio Pettis. May 12th, Bellator 296. Gegard Mousasi returns against Fabian Edwards. And then June 16th, Bellator 297, the man himself, the Hammer, Vadim Nemkov takes on Yoel Romero. That will be for the lightweight world title. And, of course, as I just indicated, Sergio Pettis versus Patricio Pitbull for the bantamweight world championship on the same day. For folks who may not know, Patricio Pitbull is trying to become the first ever MMA fighter to win 3 titles in 3 different weight classes in a major organization. It has never been done before. He is attempting it for the very first time. So that is our schedule there, ladies and gentlemen. A lot to go back to if I can. But we should talk a little bit, if we can, about Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. And I know we've got a couple of assets here I'd like to show you if at all possible. Tank Davis, of course, and Ryan Garcia recently having a media workout. And there's a lot of focus on Tank Davis about his preparation for this contest and where it's going to be and what he's doing to get ready. Well, we have a clip I'd like to show you about that focus, about that preparation, about all the things he's doing. Let's take a look at it here if we can.
Let's go to work. Yeah, we got sparring today. Finish the week out real good. I like when you come in like this better, yo. He's in a great mood. Yeah, he's in a great mood today.
I'm enjoying the moment. This is a lifetime shot. I'm excited, man. I'm definitely taking this very seriously, but as I continue to get close to the fight, I'm just being myself. I feel good, you know what I mean? So April the 22nd is definitely going to be a exciting night for the sport of boxing.
When you ready? Yeah. Make sure you don't record. No recording. No recording, gentlemen. Thank you.
The mega fight, that dance with destiny, is nearly at hand. And with both superstars in the fine-tuning stage, secrecy is crucial. That's why Davis made sparring the most important element of any camp, off limits to cameras. But his team's visible confidence hints at his readiness.
Hey, you having fun, ain't you?
The full reveal will take place on April 22nd.
This fight is so big. Like, this fight is bigger than me and Ryan. 2 young fighters, 2 explosive young fighters fighting in that prime. Both of us stars. Well, he a star on paper. He ain't really like pack out no arenas, you know what I mean? But it's probably one of the biggest fights of this generation. It's gonna be a whole different side of me coming into the fight. It's gonna be like something just snapped, like I turned to a different person.
There you go, Scott. Right here, baby. There you go. 1 hour. Put it back.
Take this off me.
Take it off.
Hopefully nothing go down crazy. For sure, because I wouldn't be ready.
For Davis, an undefeated, heavy-hitting opponent requires seeking every edge. And so, watching tape has been incorporated into the workout. Consider this multitasking for the immense undertaking ahead.
He's slow for real.
He look fast against who he fighting against,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
and all of them that he fighting, he ain't fight the caliber guys you fought. See some speed. He like, yo, where the coming from? They coming from different angles I ain't never seen.
Some fighters they good at what they do.
Okay.
Like they master at what they do, but they not complete fighters. Some of them have speed, some of them have just power, some of them just have footwork, but they don't have the whole thing. I believe I have the whole package. I mean, that's what makes me a good boxer. A great boxer, I say.
All right, so there you have that clip. Here's what we're going to do, folks. Let's reset one more time. My name is Luke Thomas. If you want more from me and Brian Campbell, who, of course, is on vacation today, he's also your Showbox commentator. You can get us at Morning Combat, youtube.com/Morning Combat. We talk about boxing, we talk about MMA, all of combat sports, live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's a great show. It's award-winning. You should check it out. But for now, let's remind everyone, 10 p.m. Eastern tonight, 7 p.m. in the West on Showtime, which you can get, showtime.com. You can get a 30-day free trial. If you like it, you can keep it. If not, you can bounce. You can go to showtime.com. You can start it today. We're going to have Sebastian Fundora taking on Brian Mendoza, your super welterweight contest for the interim WBC strap that Fundora has. Right? So that's going to be fun. A triple header also, as I mentioned, Brandun Lee taking on Pedro Campa in that contest, in the co-main, I should say. And then, of course, we have another bout on the card there as well. But I want to set everything up for you right now. We're going to show you All Access between Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, both episodes 1 and 2. These, of course, is a huge mega fight. As I indicated, I don't have to tell you that. You already know. So without further ado, don't miss it. Live 10 p.m. Eastern Time for all the Showtime Boxing main card action for a fun triple header. But right now, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy these phenomenal Davis versus Garcia episodes for All Access. My name is Luke Thomas. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, enjoy the fights.
As we left the Garcia corner, we heard him saying, the translator saying, I can't see. So Garcia having issues in the corner, and it's over. Gervonta Tank Davis records another stoppage victory.
Now we look forward to Ryan Garcia, one Garcia down, which is scheduled to take place. Everybody's hoping. Will you get that deal done?
Of course, on my end, I'm ready. This is the most important time in my career is right now. And I understand that, and I dreamed about this, what I prayed for, this what I worked for. The time is now, for sure, and I'm not shying away from it.
What's next, Tank?
We gotta do it again. April.
April, okay, all right.
Ryan, you know, Oscar De La Hoya before you fight said, hey, Tank, I'm rooting for you, I want you to win.
Of course, they want to make that money, that's why.
Anything you want to tell Ryan?
Get ready.
Ready? We're set. Ready, and action.
Sometimes, when a night truly matters, nothing else does. It doesn't matter where you're born, the circumstances you've surmounted, the knockouts delivered, or the size of your following.
Like that, baby, yeah!
When one achievement beckons beyond all others, forget the context and focus on the imminent goal, to become the face of an entire sport.
I don't care who's in the game. Come April the 22nd and they raise my hand, I'm the face of boxing.
This man can't be the face. Look at me. I will be the face when I knock out Gervonta Davis.
For Tank Davis and King Ryan Garcia, two undefeated powerhouses, both young, famous, and accomplished. That's all that matters on Saturday, April 22nd.
This one fight means more than some 1,000 fights I've been in.
I'm at peace with leaving everything out there for the world to see.
In order to shape the future of boxing, define an era, and perhaps encourage similar blockbuster bouts, they must state their face-of case by disfiguring the face of their opponent. That's why these are super fights, because of what's at stake. The reward higher than just money or fame, but a defining of generational legacy. Nothing else matters. Beyond two warriors, the sports world, and the fight that ties them all together. For now.
The world of boxing is on fire. This fight, this man better be ready for war.
And forever.
I'm only 28. I'm already a legend.
We are here with King Ryan.
No.
Ryan Garcia.
Man. How you doing, man?
Doing good.
Who do you want to fight?
Tank Davis, you know
right
that.
Now, today.
2 rounds is
you
all going to
fight
take.
Tank?
Tank Davis.
I got Tank on his phone. You want him?
Yeah, Tank.
Oh my God.
2 rounds. 2 rounds. 2 rounds. You're going to sleep. 2 rounds. Hey, it's not going to hurt. I promise you, it's not going to hurt.
You hear this?
On me.
Can your next fight be with this man? I'm gonna fight him.
He said it.
The world.
Hey, the world knows. He said it. There's no going back now. There ain't no going back. Hey, you better commit to it. Sign that, baby. Sign it. Let's go, Tank. Let's go. Bang, there we go. He's out.
When it come to beat, we bring the hammers out. And we keep it shining when the lights out. From the apple, they said we fall down.
On our way to the press conference, cook off this promotion right, come face to face with Ryan, see what energy he brings. I'm excited to be a part of something so big, be able to share the ring with like a young talent like Ryan Garcia.
Like geez, we all losing silence.
This fight, I feel like, can bring super fights back. Every chance I had, I was telling them, I'm making this fight happen. No matter what I gotta go through, no matter what I have to sacrifice, no matter what they put on me, there would be no way that this fight is not happening. This is a Kodak moment, as they call it. Right now, kind of calm, cool, collective. It's not amped up yet, but when it does get amped up, I'm gonna be ready. Ready to rumble, baby.
So why is the excitement here amplified? That's simple and enticing and rare. Start with the basics, which aren't basic at all. 2 superstars, both in their 20s, both entertaining knockout specialists, both boasting of huge crossover appeal. All make for an ideal mega fight combination.
What's up, brother? Bacon, egg, and cheese, a little bit of jelly. You can make both of them with jelly on that too for me.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on toast with the jelly?
Grape jelly, yeah. The reason why I wanted to make the fight because I think the time is now. He's somebody that's on that A game, so why not take the fight now? You know, he's a star. I'm a star. I needed a dance partner, so I think that's mainly what it is. To want to see who's the best, really.
The next afternoon, Tank ensures he will make a grand entrance, even if that means making his opponent wait for a press conference that should have already started 15 minutes ago.
It's happening. It's really happening. Saturday, April 22nd, pay-per-view. Gervonta Tank Davis, King Ryan Garcia. 2 unbeaten stars will square off. But today, the 2 fighters will be going face-to-face for the first time.
I pride myself on being a professional. No matter how big I am, I'm gonna get there on time to show him I'm ready. It's been over an hour and he's still not here. It's unprofessional. Could be a little bit of a power trip. People got things to do. 2:02. Supposed to start at 12:30. That's not even fashionably late.
All you boxers start swagger jacking.
You could play the A-side game all you want. The truth is you were late. The champion showed up.
Let's start this. It's disrespectful.
Time has come for one of the biggest fights of 2023.
Be on time, don't be late.
That coat, that delay, the swagger. Perhaps this is Davis's opening gambit. A mind game of sorts. To set the tone of a super fight on his terms.
Brian Garcia.
Which were, shall we say, distinct.
It wasn't easy, but, you know, we found a way. This has been a fight that I've wanted for a very long time.
I said 138 at first. They said yes. A week later, 136. Not even for a second did I hesitate. I said yes.
Two personalities come into the ring together, create the perfect storm.
Y'all gotta feel this energy.
So what is Ryan Garcia getting on April 22nd?
Ass whooping. That's what he getting.
No matter what I have to sacrifice, no matter how much weight I have to lose, I'm not doing this to the fans. I'm not doing this to the sport of boxing. I'm making this fight happen.
He talked this way into this fight. April the 22nd, he gonna have to be able to show it.
Someone got to promote it. I was here on time, right?
That's cool. You supposed to be like that.
I don't understand. What do you mean by that?
The first face-off, I want to show all the top guys that they're not really who they say they are. Something bound to happen.
You feel that, right? It's going to be a fight. I'm ready, baby. Let's get it.
And he was like, you don't got it. I said, I do got it. You're going to see I have it.
If you got a haircut today, you won't get a haircut tomorrow. That's the good news.
The next press conference, I put him in his place real quick.
I think he's going to try a little harder today. Actually, I see him down there right now. He looks even smaller.
When we get to his hometown, he got to live up to it. It's time to show now. Touch that chin.
I'll touch that chin. I'm going to hit you with that left hook right there. Well, I can see it actually. I can see that tempo.
I like seeing him face to face. There was nothing worrisome about that, man. I even gained more confidence seeing him in front of me.
I'm going to beat him. I'm going to knock him out. We'll see you April 22nd.
This guy I keep talking about, he gonna hit me with a hook. He don't have nothing else but a hook.
Maybe all I need is a left hook. Maybe that's all it's gonna take.
Tell the people what's gonna happen and what they're gonna get.
I'm gonna walk you to the deep waters and I'm gonna drown you. And that's it for me.
This defense is gonna be so goddamn tight, you like, okay, Tank.
Yeah.
He gonna roll the dice though. He gonna just come out storming.
No, I don't think he is.
We gambling there, huh?
He think I'm gonna do that to him. He said that. What you gonna do when I check hook you to the face and to the body?
Yeah, he did say that.
He always telling me what they plan on.
Guess what he worrying about? He worrying about that.
I don't give a f***. As long as he get knocked out, I don't care.
Tank, you better not knock his ass out. Listen, I want you to punish his ass, yeah? I need you, look. Now I ain't gonna knock you out right here. I'm gonna do it over here.
No, you knock his ass out.
Yeah, facts.
No, we ain't doing it like that.
Stretch his ass out.
No, we ain't doing it like
The
that.
less punches you take, and the store's gonna be still open, so I'm gonna eat. Everybody is buying a ticket to see what?
I knock out.
Knock his ass out.
And I'm trying to get my money, so don't call me for tickets, none of that. I don't care who you is.
Hey, I said the same thing.
You could be...
Obama.
Yeah, but...
You'll send Obama the ticket master?
Yeah.
All right,
His chin is soft. Like, his shit feel like a pillow.
You connected?
Yeah.
Pull up, show out. Watch you go shake it like a luau. Full on, all out. Shine so hard like a sun's out. Too hot, too hot, too hot, too hot. Ow. We stay on top, we stay on top. Yeah, too hot, too bad you not. Oh, we ain't gon' stop, we ain't gon' stop. Now, oh, you forgot who you dealing with. Oh, it's no joke, there's no counterfeit. Keep it authentic, no catfish.
For mere mortals, jet lag is a legit excuse to skip at least one workout. But Davis is no mortal. He's a dominant force with an empire to solidify and expand. Hence, no rest, no break, no excuses.
You gotta remember, you need a performance of your life. The whole world will be watching this like
Hold on, yeah.
Big stage, record audience, millions watching. For Tank, this is nothing new. But it's not exactly the same either, because he's never had such a treacherous opponent to prepare for.
Yeah, definitely jet lag, man. Felt a little, my legs were a little tired. Everything was tired, you know, and even when you don't want to work, you got to work, you know what I mean? So definitely seeing Ron today definitely gave me juice to get in there, because maybe or maybe he not, but 9 out of 10, he ain't go to the gym today, so I'm definitely ahead of him. So I pushed through it. That's my motivation, just proving that I'm better than the next person. If I see something that I say I need to work on or they bash me about it, I'll be like, okay, go to the gym, work on it, and then I show them the next fight.
Even when the magnitude heightens, Davis's team maintains the routine that led here, regardless of where or what time. Back at the house, meals are nutritious and prepared to optimize performance. Davis is known for mixing fast food with fast hands, but now he's cutting not a single corner. Perhaps this signals the gravitas of the moment ahead. His plan is simple: win. After all, Tank knows better than anyone how suddenly and violently a fight can end. His knockout of Leo Santa Cruz offers a lesson of what not to do against a power puncher.
That definitely was the best knockout, cause he didn't wake up.
Yeah, he was the only person that didn't know how that fight ended.
Yeah, he felt right there, like damn that out the ring. He just threw the shot 3 times in a row, but it wasn't like on no it wasn't like faint or nothing. He just kept throwing it like. Why would you throw it 3 times? I'm like, yeah. 1, 2. This camp, I'm definitely working my defense because I ain't trying to get hit with none of them punches. You know what I mean? I ain't sleeping on Ryan. I'm watching him when he think I ain't watching him. You know what I mean? So.
2 young superstars, both undefeated, competing in the same division, have circled and squawked at each other for some time now. And with tensions running high, the drama even spilled outside the ring.
We was in a club, and my table was probably says my table right here. His table was on the other side, but I could see him, cause he's standing on he's tall. He's standing on it's a couple of 4 of them, and he bouncing he dancing, and his boy. One of his boys wound up seeing me, and then Ron came. So when Ron came, he said something "Are we gonna be cool after the fight?" Or something like that. He said something like can we be friends? Yeah, can we be friends after the fight? And I'm like, no. But I'm just messing with him though, cause I'm like, no. And he all right, man. He looked at me, and then he turned around. He looked right back at me you sure we can't be friends? I'm like, nah. So he all right, he said something else, and then I don't know what made me grab a chain, but he said something, and his bodyguard was like, no. And then they wound up going back to their table, and then they left. I wish somebody would have had it on recording so I could hype up the fight now.
They gave me a shot, didn't miss. Had to make it flip like this. Brand new roller, new wrist. Dog nigga wouldn't have shit. But I made it flip like this. Had to make it flip like this. But I made it flip like this. Had to make it flip like this. They gave me a shot, didn't miss. Had to make it flip like this. Brand new roller, new wrist. Dog nigga wouldn't have shit. But I made it flip like this. Had to make it flip like this. But I made it flip like this. Had to make it flip like this.
Ryan Garcia is a star, a phenom turned celebrity with 9 million Instagram followers, big brand endorsements, and limitless potential. But despite his young age, he understands the rub of being a boxer. Though built from hundreds of fights, both the literal and figurative kinds, one can end up being defined by a single night. With that knowledge, Garcia isn't going to leave anything to chance.
We got a long way to go. This is just the beginning. Everything got to be tough. Bring it on. Let's go, baby. He's never seen determination like this in his life. He can't fathom how to get like this. He don't have this mentality like me. It's all laughter at the press conference, but when it comes to the hard work, that's why I'm here.
I gotta outwork this, man. I gotta be ready. You trust in the truth. That's what I learned around this whole journey. Is like, you trust the truth, trust your work, and trust in yourself, and you'll be okay.
You know this is the hottest ticket in town, right? Do you know that?
It is. $20K for a ticket. I tried to buy one. I said,
yeah,
damn.
listen. Well, we're buying them. We're buying them. I don't care. We're buying them.
I said 20K. I said,
We're
damn.
buying. The guy, someone, they called me and said, Mike, we got a ticket for you, maybe your wife, come down. Yeah. I'm saying, what you have for sale? What do you have for sale? I want to buy some tickets. Some of the fights you want to buy tickets because this is just a big moment in boxing.
I think this makes it special because you guys are both in your primes, and that's what makes it so special. Like you were saying, usually there's one guy that's...
Yeah, but listen,
so will
this fight change matchmaking politics, you think?
It can inspire people.
Yeah.
Once they
see that pay-per-view, they're going to be jealous. Hey, I want to fight this guy.
If the fans reward this type of event, where two young fighters put it all on the line, and they're both superstars, and they're making money regardless without each other, it will inspire other fighters to say, okay, that's how you make the money.
But that's really big right now. People got to make...
This right here, they got to buy it. If they want to see these type of fights, you got to buy this fight.
Exactly. I agree 100%.
Because this will show other fighters this is how you do it now. This is where it's going. This is the trend. I'm going to be prepared for this moment. I've been calling for this moment. I've been asking for this moment since I can't even think about how long. I know I'm destined for this moment.
I'm getting hot, man.
I just want to let you know. I want to let the world know. After I beat him, I'm screaming out your name. I'm screaming out everybody's name. I told you, Tyson.
I'm saying.
Told you, Denzel. I told you, everybody. Yeah. Just wait. Just wait. I'm just focused right now. I just know 10 more. Everything I'm thinking about, 10 more punches, 10 more rounds. Everything I'm thinking, I'm just drilling it to a place I've never been before, and I'm there. I just know that it's coming. I've been wanting this for 2 years. You know that. I've been calling him out, running him down, chasing him down, screaming his name, calling him this, calling him that. I'm ready for this. I can feel it in my heart, my soul. I feel it where it's taking me. This is my moment. He's not leaving that ring without some type of hurt. Promise you, I went through too much to get to this moment. He's not leaving that ring without some type of hurt. I promise you that. He tried to pay all these things. He can't stop what's destined. He can't because I'm too determined. He's never seen it. He's never felt this before. He's never felt the speed, the power. He's never felt none of that. And with the heart, he's never seen before.
I can dig it. I can dig it. It's getting hot in this. Talk some more, man.
My family, we stay together in everything we do.
Father in heaven, thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for bringing our beautiful family together. We thank you for this.
They always supported me fighting. No matter if they had a penny to their name, they threw it to my career.
Garcia started boxing early, at age 7. He trained under his father, Henry, while the rest of their family provided unending support.
You know, my dad created a shed for us to train in. It was like a little barn. It was funny, you know. I was always seen as somebody that was destined to make it. And my family, they just always felt like I was gonna have an impact on boxing. There's been times in my life that I've said to myself, you better push it, you better win. Like my mom and dad, they gave their whole salary to this one tournament. We drove all the way over there. It was cross country. And I said to myself, if I lose in this tournament and I got to do this long ride back home, it's just going to be torture. So I swear on my life, nobody was beating me. And I actually fought a southpaw. Guess what I did to him? Punished him. And came back with the national title. So that was good.
Garcia became a 15-time national champion, racking up more than 200 amateur wins. At only 17, he turned pro. And from there, nothing but fireworks. Known for hands so fast they disappear, then strike like lightning. Garcia's resume is spotless. 23 wins, no losses. 19 opponents spilled onto the canvas.
not sink it down. It's over. There is a new Tank in the 135-pound division.
The comparisons to Tank seem to come naturally. Despite those resounding victories, a perhaps unfair perception nags at Garcia that he lacks an edge, that he's wholesome. For his opponent, that's enough to question Garcia's mettle. Even his good looks draw doubters. To them, he's little more than a pretty face.
I don't even know if I should take that as a diss or a compliment. Thank you, I guess, but I'm gonna come whoop your ass. I'm here to get nasty, and I'm coming at you, and you've seen it. It's not a sport you joke around. I don't get here by just having a pretty face. You don't knock out, two-time world champion Javier Fortuna. You don't knock him out that easily if you're just a pretty face. It's really jealousy. Cain, you remember Cain and Abel? They're just jealous.
I feel as though a lot of people, they make believes and wannabes and things like that. They didn't come from where I come from. That's number one. They're not bad as me, for a fact. I mean, you have somebody like Ryan, he had a pretty decent than what I had. You know what I mean? It's just two guys that's coming from two sides of the world. He's a likable guy. He's praising God every time he's winning.
I want to look up above and thank God, our Father in heaven, for all the wisdom he gives me.
Then it's me and the stuff that I've been through in my past and the trouble and things like that. And don't want to keep saying it, but my mom and dad was on drugs and things like that. I fought mad times in the streets and the gym. Just to see that I'm at this level and see that it's possible. You know what I mean? Everything I dreamed of is actually coming true. All this is paying off. That's another reason why I have to win this fight. People like close to me, like people that's coming up behind me, I feel as though Manny want to show them that anything is possible. You know what I mean? No matter where you come from. This win over Ryan it's more than just a fight for me. It's for all of us.
That's how I put it in the van last night. Yeah, but they came with it.
We got you back in. I got you back in. Morning. We good. Oh, man. Rope. Damn. Heavy. Yeah, that's nasty. Hey, Steve.
The ring is like Tank's playground. Ryan is one of them kids that's in that playground. When Tank step in that ring, I'm not gonna let you outdo me in my playground.
Try it again. One, two, three. Snap this time, we in trouble.
Every year it's a new face. Usually I used to put the picture up there and tape it up there.
It ain't done until they put the dirt on us. You're fighting for your life. You're fighting for your family. You're fighting for what you believe in. Only person gonna beat you, Tank, is you. You haven't seen the best of Tank yet, and I'm waiting for it.
There's a reason that boxing is perhaps the most primal endeavor on earth. Because in this sport, the truth hurts is more than a cliche.
Ready?
And that, right there, is what separates the sweet science, the discerning, the difference between real and not, made clear only by violence.
I feel like it's the most truthful sport in the world. You can't lie. I mean, you can lie, but it's gonna be exposed in the ring. on my way to becoming the truest version of myself.
You want to show that you are who you say you are. A lot of people that's fighting that's not really who they say they are.
On Saturday, April 22nd, both can already claim elite status. But the real one, the better than elite one, must do more than claim. That one must triumph.
I gotta outwork this man. Praise the Lord. My moment's here.
In order to become the next face of boxing, he must prove himself better than someone already considered a superstar of the sport.
April the 22nd, he's gonna find out that I'm who I say I am.
How's that for real? Real risk, real close, real dangerous. But the real truth, only one can be right. On Saturday, April 22nd, Gervonta Tank Davis will meet King Ryan Garcia, only on pay-per-view.
There ain't a writer in the world that could word it this wicked. Gary Goodrich, jump up in the ring and just kick it. Roundhouse foot to the jaw. Roundhouse foot to the jaw. There ain't a writer in the world that could word it this wicked. Gary Goodrich, jump up in the ring and just kick it. Roundhouse foot to the jaw. Roundhouse foot to the jaw.
Yeah, you know. When you go pot tar up, you gotta go smoothie. What a Jolly Rancher Troy's. I would get that, but it's not glazed. The King pack, you always go King. Gotta go purple Skittles. Gotta get them. And this all while I'm in camp, too. Definitely don't worry, because I'm definitely making weight. Laffy Taffy bites. Get a couple of these, too. I'm Gucci.
70-46.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
All right.
At first glimpse, two undefeated superstars careening towards a super fight can seem indestructible, indomitable, bulletproof. For a Tank and a King, that's pretty much the expectation.
We both have speed and power. He's knocked out majority of the guys he's faced. I knocked out 98% of the guys I faced.
And down goes Romero!
But watch Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia closely. Listen to them intently.
I'm a man of my word. Let's go, Tank! Let's go!
And keep an eye out for the subtext.
This guy I keep talking about, he gonna hit me with a hook. He don't have nothing else but a hook.
Maybe that's all it's gonna take.
Because two careers built for overwhelming success.
There's nobody out there better than me.
Built by two men and all that fortified them. Built towards the same night even.
When I get in there, he's gonna know that he's fighting with a real fighter.
Share a counterintuitive notion.
This is the most important time in my career, is right now.
And with a deeper look into the super fight scheduled for Saturday, April 22nd in Las Vegas, that notion becomes clear.
Praise the Lord. My moment's here.
Because when it comes to a Tank and the King, what's deeper and less obvious is the vulnerability they share.
This one fight means more than 1,000 fights I've been in.
All access, Ryan Garcia, I'm taking over.
God, give me a hat, my man.
This one OD fire.
How you doing?
Step on the scale right here real quick.
Oh, y'all gotta weigh me?
Yeah, sir. You're all good, thank you.
How much I weigh?
154.
154?
Yes, sir.
All right, weigh me one more time.
All right, 150.
150? What this on? All right, bet. Strap me in, I'm ready. I'm getting on a helicopter. I'm on a helicopter. Oh, man.
You ready? You ready? Cause we ready. Cause we ready. It get heavy. It get heavy. We're ready. We're ready. You ready? You ready?
Fighting at T-Mobile is a dream come true. Just looking at the arena, it was pretty amazing. I gotta work hard each and every day so I can be able to, live out my dream and put on a great performance and get the fans what they want to see. Just to have something evolve around you is quite amazing. Woo, man! It's gonna be big and I'm looking forward to it. It's cool. I think Ryan don't know how big it's gonna be. That probably play a big factor in how the night go.
Let's go to work. Yeah, we got sparring today. Finished the week out real good. I like when you come in like this better, yo. He's in a great mood. Yeah, he in a great mood today.
I'm enjoying the moment. This is a lifetime shot. I'm excited, man. I'm definitely taking this very seriously, but as I continue to get close to the fight, I'm just being myself. I feel good, you know what I mean? So April the 22nd is definitely going to be a exciting night for the sport of boxing.
When you ready? Yes. Nah, make sure you don't record.
No recording. No recording, gentlemen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
The mega fight, that dance with destiny, is nearly at hand. And with both superstars in the fine-tuning stage, secrecy is crucial. That's why Davis made sparring the most important element of any camp, off limits to cameras. But his team's visible confidence hints at his readiness.
Hey, you having fun, ain't you?
The full reveal will take place on April 22nd.
This fight is so big. Like, this fight is bigger than me and Ryan. Two young fighters, two explosive young fighters fighting in that prime. Both of us stars. Well, he a star on paper. He ain't really pack out no arenas, you know what I mean? But it's probably one of the biggest fights of this generation. It's gonna be a whole different side of me coming into the fight. It's gonna be like something just snapped, like I turned to a different person.
Right here, baby. There you go. 1 hour. Put it back, put it back, put it back.
Take this off me.
Take it off, take it off.
Hopefully nothing go down crazy. For sure, because I wouldn't be ready.
For Davis, an undefeated, heavy-hitting opponent requires seeking every edge. And so, watching tape has been incorporated into the workout. Consider this multitasking for the immense undertaking ahead.
He's slow for real.
He look fast against who he fighting against,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
and all them that he fighting, he ain't fight the caliber guys you fought. See some speed. He like, yo, where the coming from? They coming from different angles I ain't never seen.
Some fighters they good at what they do. Like, they master at what they do, but they not complete fighters. Some of them have speed, some of them have just power, some of them just have footwork, but they don't have the whole thing. I believe I have the whole package. I mean, that's what makes me a good boxer. A great boxer, I say.
I'm trying to imagine how the narrator is going to be narrating this. And Ryan still finds a way to squeeze in a good haircut at the end of the day. Always. Something like that.
For real.
You watch this as a little kid and then you realize, like, now it's here, so it's like, yeah, how do I make it my own? Just be me, I guess.
Well, Ryan, your suggestion isn't that bad. It's true, Garcia did find a way to squeeze in a pre-mega bout fade. More importantly, though, in this and all public interactions, what shines through is the King's authentic self.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of attitude he brings. And if he gets knocked down, let's see how he reacts. Like when I got knocked down, I went right to it. When life gets tough on me, I raise my hand and say, you know, I'm ready to handle it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment has come.
Ryan Garcia thrills so often, so thoroughly, that it's easy to forget he's only 24 years old. But when strangers question the metal behind that handsome face, he knows precisely the night he proved them wrong already. Against British gold medalist Luke Campbell.
Here ready to claim his kingdom.
That was one of my first moments where it was like, okay, you know, this could be a real fight right here. Going in there, you know, I got a little too hyped. Especially, you know, I'm coming out in a throne, which I'll probably never do again. That was a big mistake.
Garcia has to be careful not to get over-eager, because Campbell, who never makes predictions, said, I'm going to knock this kid out. Oh, left hand sits the kid down! Now we're going to see what this kid's made of.
Most guys, especially young fighters in their career, they get dropped. They're not feeling too good. They're gonna get flustered a little bit, embarrassed, and I went in there and I came right at him right after I got dropped.
Ryan Garcia responded like a true champion, getting up and fighting off Luke Campbell.
That moment I said to myself, nobody's gonna define who I am. It was a moment for me to create an even better moment.
Body shot, and he goes down, and now Campbell is down on a knee, 2 knees. He's asking, do I want to get up? And it is over! Ryan Garcia!
That night was never gonna be Ryan Garcia got exposed. It was in a moment that was gonna make me fold. I really showed the world that even in your darkest moments, you don't let it define you.
You take the journey of beginning. Because as you're taking the journey to beginning, the distractions will come. And they'll come at you like a fire of arrows, looking to penetrate your armor. Because the one who reaches the destination is the one that continues to go after trial and after trial. So you have talent after real.
Did you just make that up?
Oh, on my head. Off top.
That's some Lord of the Rings stuff right there.
Joe Goosen is well known throughout boxing. He's a trainer, an analyst, and part of a family that's steeped in the fight game. Goosen joined Garcia's team after the Campbell bout, pointing an already elite fighter towards much more. After all, empires must be expanded.
Bam. That's magical right there. When I started with Ryan, his team was a little bit in disarray. I think I brought some cohesiveness to it. I put my experience to work in any capacity that I can, but more importantly, I'm there. Really good. Getting that rhythm.
Joe's great. He's seen it all. So having a guy like that, it really brings you confidence because he's not going to be shocked by much.
That's like a middleweight right hand right there, literally. You want to get out of his way when Ryan is working. I am amazed by his power. It's almost freakish. It's frightening.
All my knockouts happen with the left hook. Of course, he's going to say all I have is the left hook. And I think all I'm going to need is one. Sleep. Gone. He's gonna be like, dang, he did only have a left hook. Just wake up, give him a little kiss on his forehead. Put him to bed. Like, good night, Javante.
Of course, the Southern California native grew up emulating his big screen heroes. The twist? A rare instance when the emulation is returned. Get your popcorn ready either way.
Oh, yeah. Snacks of a champion. This, that. That's how I get ready for Gervonta Davis, baby. Yeah. Let's get it. I eat candy, drink Coca-Cola. Gervonta can't eat this and still win.
We take Tank very seriously. And I don't think Tank is underestimating Ryan in the least, because it is his biggest challenge. And it's the best fighter he's ever fought.
I was never gonna eat candy, but we're gonna make him think we're eating candy. Mind games.
This fight is going to be one of those fights that you don't want to miss it. And if you miss it, you're going to be sorry you did. It's for all the marbles on this one.
That's down in the refrigerator section, ain't it?
As the stakes for the blockbuster only spiral higher and higher, anyone who might think that Davis Camp is worried
Gotta get that powdered sugar.
should know that they always figure out a way.
Rolling pins.
That is in part because they know how to thrive in difficult circumstances. Before Calvin Ford became a trainer, he served 10 years in prison, where a little baked-in ingenuity went a long way.
I used to roll through the yard, make my pound cakes, take them back to the unit, and sell them and whatnot. That was my hustle. I did good. I came home at least about $10,000.
Man, I made a lot of money off of cinnamon rolls, Kenny, when I was locked up. I had my hustle was pound cakes, cinnamon rolls, and yeast.
All that experience, what's the timer for? Once you get experience.
See, baking is a science. Cooking is an art. So I got to use a timer for the science. Everything comes in time.
At this moment, the time a newly released boxing coach and a kid from the streets spent together gains extra meaning. Both sought to redefine their story, the first steps taken toward today.
They might got me back in the kitchen again.
You know, Calvin, he been with me since I was 7. I used to sleep in Coach Calvin's house. I used to sleep at his job when he was working at a seafood restaurant in Baltimore.
When I had to train Tank, when I didn't want him to get in trouble and I wanted to make sure we was together, I used to take him to work with me. And he'd chill. Everybody knew him. Everybody knew him at work.
Remember, Calvin used to fuss at the guys that was coming up with me, and they was in the streets a lot. He was telling them, like, you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You gotta be, like, all the way in it. Like, focus on the goal, you know, and them guys, they went left, and unfortunately, they got killed.
You weigh the odds out like that. Do you want him to go to jail or you want him to live? That's the whole idea, to come to the boxing gym.
If I ain't had the people I had around me, like the people that started with me and things like that, I probably would have been off the scene for a long time. You know, I think that the people that I started with really keep me sane and keep me focused, because it's not just me that's fighting this battle, it's people that's with me, you know what I mean, that's walking with me day in and day out.
Some kids are good with the mind, some kids are good with the hands, and some kids are good with just fighting. Kenny used to always say kids like that come every 10 years. So happy we got one of them.
What up, man?
We're gonna give you a piece.
Piece?
Just a piece here.
All right, bet.
Just cut a piece. Get the rest of your main man.
Is, man.
Yeah, just a little piece.
I'm gonna eat the whole thing.
Yo, we cleaned the plates with them, Jordan.
Okay.
It's banging, right?
Yeah, they don't taste too bad, man.
They don't taste too bad, man.
You gonna eat the whole thing, right?
For Davis, the Garcia bout marks the culmination of a lifetime spent overcoming adversity. The enormity ahead is also a testament to those who steered, guided, and mentored him.
It was tough. And when you have a chance to make it out, it gives you that different look on life. It make you dream bigger than just your small town or your hard times that you've been through. it's crazy to me that who would know I would be that guy. I knew I'd be big, but I never knew that I would be like the guy that actually like break them doors. Calvin believed in me. Calvin believed in me no matter what. That's what was the important piece of me staying focused, and I know I have somebody that's counting on me. Calvin was making sure that I was on the right track, and whoever go against me, Calvin was standing beside me. You know what I mean? Calvin was that guy that had my back for sure.
That's what we do. Get ready for this.
You want to just pay today?
Whatever you want.
Because it has to be fresh. People are going to leave New York and then come back with a bunch of kids.
I think he knows how to play.
I don't know. I'll check.
Check.
Doesn't have anything, bro. It's just best to bet.
Can't wait till the big pots come.
There is a lot lurking beneath King Ryan's poker face. There's pride, there's pain, and above all, there is strength. Garcia had to fight for that, too.
I was on top. I was feeling good. Careful. Relax a little bit. Gatorade signed me. You can't get really much better than that. I have a Jack King.
I told you, patience is a virtue. He sucks.
But then demons started creeping in and depression hit me. It came out of nowhere. I pride myself to keep moving forward in tough situations, but I couldn't stop it no matter what I tried to do. The more I pushed for it to go away, it came stronger and stronger until it beat me to my knees. The moment I try to get up, I'm getting beaten down again. It was so dark, it felt like I was in hell. You get over the pain, and before you know it, you're back in the pain. That's what it felt like. It was torture. And I said to myself, I don't want to box no more. I'm done. This is not even me. And I told my mom, I need help.
I'm so proud of my son for everything he's gone through and, you know, overcome. Just amazing. It's an amazing journey.
In boxing, more than most sports, feelings can be mislabeled as weakness. Garcia knows better because he understands the power that can be culled from facing and reconciling an unseen opponent.
As time passed by, I started really getting back to myself. Something awoke inside me. It was just truth. Truth was in me.
Therapy, the life-changing variety, comes in all forms. And for King Ryan, boxing doubles as meditation, a contrast necessary to always come back stronger.
Get it. That's gonna give me the respect I deserve. And I'm never afraid. I'm trying to tell you that I have a spirit of competition in me, and you're gonna see that come out when I fight Tank and whoop his ass.
Now I feel even crazier because I conquered it. I went through the fire already, and I came out. I'm good. And then I just became an animal.
Yo, con can que van, nos metemos con todo y no hay nadie encima. Una mala bien bonita, ella es mi bandida y solo falta me motiva.
Gervonta, he can't say anything that my mind has not already told me or tried me. And I feel the most strong I've ever felt in my life. I'm coming for everything. This is my Campbell moment once again. It's here. He's not doing what I'm doing. He's no way. He's not as crazy as me. Nah.
Good. Leap taken. Strength bolstered. Garcia now understands that Tank, while dominant, will never be his toughest opponent. That opponent powers him to higher levels of training.
There you go, baby. Drive, get, baby. Good work. Woo. I'm 215 pounds. You pulling me like, all right.
Once he gets in that mode, it's over.
You look good.
I got numerous NFL guys, MLB guys, and he has a mindset far beyond all of them kids. which is crazy. Go! He's gonna be as fast as he can be, as strong as he can be. We're gonna get the knockout. Go!
10 more. 10 more.
10 more.
Ready, go! There you go.
He won't, I'm tired. 10 more. 10 more. Until I've done a million.
You messed with the wrong Instagram fighter.
And after I beat him, 10 more. That's my mentality right now.
I didn't beat a lot of stuff. No matter what they try to take away from me, I beat it. I beat it.
Boom. Right.
And I'm still trying to, push forward. When people say legacy, I feel like you gotta picture where I came from. I already done enough. I don't want to say be cocky, because I want people to understand where I come from. I'm already a legend. I'm already a legend. There's a lot more ahead of me, but I came a long way. You gotta salute me. Even if you don't like me, you got to.
Ask anyone who performs, who mesmerizes, who stares down skeptics, doubters, and social media hatred. And they will admit, the honest ones, to pressure that they alone can see.
People make you want to be in a shell. It gets to you.
I don't want to give the people too much because they judge you.
Look me in the eyes.
It's crazy.
I see who you are. You are my enemy. My enemy. You are my enemy.
Consider Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia closely. Beyond the armor that fortifies two undefeated, indomitable careers. What's deeper is what that pressure yields, the vulnerability they share. To rise and meet those expectations requires courage.
Good. I've been doing this for so long. Everything is clear as day.
Risk.
I gotta be ready. You don't want to lose either.
But the payoff is self-expression, showing them exactly who you are.
They didn't come from where I come from. That's number one. And when we get in the ring, I want to show that.
And on Saturday, April 22nd, on a Remember It Forever night, don't mistake skill, fortitude, or fame for untouchable.
Look at me. I haven't even broke my nose, nothing yet. Knock on wood. You know wood.
Fact is, either fighter can be touched, and both will stalk towards the other anyway.
I'm coming to destroy him with the left hook. Done.
Willingly, vulnerable, fear-facing. The only way they know how.
Once you're in there with that person, you're like, yeah, it's time to see now, motherfucker.
On Saturday, April 22nd, Gervonta Tank Davis will meet King Ryan Garcia, only on Showtime, pay-per-view.
I'm invincible, just off principle, irresistible, ever since the bull. Shoulders face around here, I've been head down grinding. The only time I look up is when I must remind them I'm on top, you can see the rise. Never will I stop, never lose horizon. See it by force, open up your eyes while the others disguise. I'ma make them realize I'm invincible, just off principle, irresistible, ever since the bull. Shoulders face around here, I've been head down grinding. The only time I look up is when I must remind them I'm on top.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here. The co-main event, Brandun Lee will go head-to-head against Pedro Campa of Mexico.
I could be fighting King Kong or Godzilla just another day in the office. My past 4 fights, I've already gone the distance twice, so I'm gonna win or I'm gonna die trying.
In our main event of the evening, the towering inferno, Sebastian Fundora, defends his title. Brian Mendoza, having knocked out Jason Rosario.
Like a year ago, I was a swing bout. You know, they're taking the ropes down, taking the lights down, everybody's leaving. And now, you know, I'm main event fighting for a title. So Starting Saturday, this is everything. The win is everything right now.
Have we been in this position before? You know, we're here to win.
We are set for a triple header. 125 and 1/2 pounds for Olivo. 125.9 for Núñez. 141.2 pounds for Campa. 141.3 pounds for Lee. This will be the main event of the evening. 153 and 1/2 pounds for Mendoza. The towering Inferno. 153.3 for Fundora. All 3 fights weighed in. We will see you live on Showtime.
Lightning Lee Murray wanted to be world champion in the UFC.
He just happens to be involved in the largest cash robbery in the world. This is the sort of thing you see in Hollywood films.
Heists, armed gang, huge amounts of money.
The policeman, shorty, hoodie, Mr. Average, high-vis, driver, and stopwatch.
A fiendishly clever plan, which, up to the moment they drove away, had worked flawlessly.
Catching Lightning, only on Showtime, streaming with Paramount Plus.
Once upon a time, there was a place called the wilderness. We did things out there that we're ashamed of. There was some darkness.
Your friendships are a little more complicated than most.
Yellow Jackets, only on Showtime, streaming with Paramount Plus.